Did you know that more than 70% of men over 60 already face some degree of difficulty achieving or maintaining an erection, even without an official diagnosis? These are not random numbers. They come from international medical studies and show a silent problem that many men ignore until it becomes too late. What starts as an occasional failure can quickly evolve into permanent impotence, leaving you frustrated and powerless. But what if I told you that the solution is not always found in expensive pills or complicated treatments, but in a small detail you may already have in your own kitchen? Before thinking about sex or even masturbation, there is something that can change the way your body responds. And today, I will reveal to you 7 surprising benefits that could help restore your strength and vitality after 60. If you are a man over 60, comment the number 1 right now. And if you think this is not your problem, just hit like so I know you are still with me. My name is Dr. Laura Bennett. I am a urologist who has spent nearly 2 decades working exclusively with men's health, especially men over the age of 60. Throughout these years, I have listened to thousands of stories from men who walked into my office with the same look of worry. They sat across from me, sometimes embarrassed, sometimes frustrated, often hiding the truth, even from their closest partners. What they shared in common was not just a loss of sexual performance, but also the weight of silence and shame that came with it. Many of them had perfectly normal lab results. Their testosterone levels were within range, their heart exams were not alarming, yet they still felt drained, less confident, and unable to enjoy intimacy the way they once did. This gap between what the medical charts showed and what they experienced in real life was striking. The truth is, the core issue is rarely a single hormone or a single blood test. It is often a combination of small, hidden factors that accumulate with age circulation, that slows down oxygen delivery, that weakens, and silent inflammation that wears out the body. These are changes that most men never hear about because traditional medicine tends to focus only on disease, not on vitality. And that is exactly why so many feel left without answers. I want to show you that the decline you notice is not inevitable, and that there are natural mechanisms inside your body that can be reactivated if you understand how they work. Today, we are not just going to talk about problems. I will take you step by step through the mistakes many men make, the science behind those mistakes, and the simple actions that can restore balance. One of the most common mistakes men make after 60 is to believe that fatigue, low energy, or weaker erections are simply the unavoidable cost of getting older. They shrug it off, telling themselves that slowing down is natural, that intimacy must fade away with age. The danger of this thinking is that it makes men blind to the early signals their bodies are sending. A missed morning erection, shorter stamina in bed, or even the feeling of being easily out of breath are not minor inconveniences. They are warnings. Ignoring them is like ignoring a warning light on the dashboard of your car. At first, nothing dramatic happens, but soon the small issue turns into a complete breakdown. Another mistake is relying on quick fixes. Many men rush to pills at the first sign of trouble, hoping for instant results without addressing the underlying causes. The problem with this approach is that it trains the body to depend on outside help, while the deeper imbalances continue to grow worse. Over time, this makes recovery harder and can even create a vicious cycle where confidence declines further. Let me share the story of Miguel, a 68-year-old retired teacher. He came to my office frustrated, saying, "Doctor, everything looks normal, but I feel like my vitality is gone." His lab results were indeed within normal ranges. Yet his daily life told a different story: no energy for exercise, no interest in intimacy, and no morning erections for years. Miguel had fallen into the trap of believing that nothing could be done, so he tried to live with it. But that silent surrender only deepened his fatigue and despair. His case is a reminder that the biggest mistake is not what you eat or drink, but the decision to accept decline as fate. If you have ever thought that your tiredness or intimacy problems are just a normal part of aging, I want you to comment the number 2 below. And if you believe the truth is more complex than age alone, press like so I know you are questioning the old beliefs. Now let's look deeper at the science, because understanding what happens inside your body is the first step to changing it. Imagine your blood vessels as garden hoses. When they are new, water flows easily. But over time, if the inside of the hose becomes stiff or clogged, the water pressure drops. This is what happens in your body when acidity builds up in the blood. The condition is called low-grade metabolic acidosis, and it silently affects men as they age. The blood becomes thicker, vessels lose flexibility, and circulation slows. For a man over 60, this means weaker erections, more fatigue, and slower recovery after effort. Oxygen plays another key role. Think of a balloon you are trying to inflate with weak breath. It never becomes fully firm. Erections work in the same way. Even if blood enters without enough oxygen, rigidity does not last. Studies show that when the blood is too acidic, hemoglobin, the molecule that carries oxygen, holds onto it instead of releasing it to the tissues. This means that even if your bloodstream is full, your cells remain starved. By improving pH balance, the body is able to release oxygen more effectively, fueling not only the heart and brain, but also the erectile tissue. And then there is silent inflammation, one of the most underestimated enemies of male vitality. It is not painful, so men rarely notice it, but it erodes health like rust eating away at the inside of a pipe. Inflammation stiffens the lining of the blood vessels, blocking the release of nitric oxide, the chemical spark that triggers an erection. Without nitric oxide, desire may exist, but the body cannot respond. This is why so many men say I still feel attraction, but nothing happens. I once treated Ricardo, a 72-year-old ex-firefighter, who described his body as running out of fuel. He felt heavy, tired, and disconnected from his partner. His case revealed poor oxygen delivery and high inflammation markers, even though his testosterone looked normal. When we helped him restore balance, his energy and firmness returned. His story proves that these hidden mechanisms matter more than the number on a lab test. So now let me ask you, what do you think is the biggest invisible cause of male decline after 60? If you believe it is poor circulation, comment number 3. If you think it is hormone changes, comment number 4. And if you suspect it is lifestyle habits, comment number 5. I want to know your opinion, because your response can help guide future videos. The good news is that you do not need to wait months or spend large amounts of money before noticing change. Small adjustments can start to make a difference almost immediately. One of the simplest actions is to drink a glass of warm water with a small pinch of baking soda after dinner. This practice, which has been studied in clinical settings, can help reduce acidity in the blood and ease the load on your circulation. It is not a magic bullet, but it is like adjusting the alignment of a wheel that has been pulling to the side. Suddenly, the ride becomes smoother. Another short-term step is gentle daily movement. I often tell my patients that a 20-minute walk is more powerful than they imagine. Movement keeps blood flowing, supports nitric oxide release, and provides a natural lift in mood. It is the opposite of waiting for a pill to act while your body stays idle. Pair this with deep breathing exercises, slow, full breaths that expand the diaphragm, and you give your blood a natural boost of oxygen. These practices do not require equipment, they do not require prescriptions, and they begin working from the very first day. Let me share the story of Samuel, a 71-year-old man who came to me saying he felt his body was constantly against him. His energy was low, his mornings felt heavy, and intimacy had all but disappeared. I encouraged him to adopt just 3 changes: the bicarbonate water at night, a 20-minute walk after lunch, and 5 minutes of breathing before bed. 3 weeks later, he returned smiling for the first time in months and said, "Doctor, I feel my mornings coming back to life. Even the natural erections I thought were gone have returned." That is the power of simple consistency. If you are willing to try at least one of these steps today, I want you to write in the comments, "I will begin." Your words are not only a promise to me, but a commitment to yourself. The act of declaring it publicly helps anchor the change. If you are not ready, yet press like, so I know you are still watching and considering. What matters is that you take the first small step, because progress always begins with a decision. Short-term changes can provide a spark, but to rebuild lasting vitality after 60, you need a complete system. Think of it as building a house. A single wall will not stand on its own. You need several pillars working together to support the structure. Over the years, I have seen that men who restore their performance and confidence in a lasting way follow 7 interconnected foundations. The first pillar is pH balance. When your body is too acidic, every system works harder than it should. Restoring balance lightens the load, improves circulation, and lays the groundwork for everything else. The second pillar is oxygen delivery. Without oxygen, muscles, brain, and sexual tissue cannot perform. Optimizing oxygen flow keeps energy high and erections firm. The third is reducing silent inflammation. Imagine corrosion eating away at the pipes inside a home. Lowering inflammation keeps the system flexible and prevents blockages. The fourth pillar is nitric oxide. This small molecule is the spark that allows blood to flood into the penis. Without it, desire has no physical response. By protecting nitric oxide, men protect not only their intimate health, but also their heart and brain. The fifth pillar is supporting the liver and kidneys. These organs act as filters and regulators, clearing toxins and balancing hormones. When they are overloaded, fatigue, low desire, and weak erections follow. Keeping them clean ensures the machine of the body keeps running smoothly. The sixth pillar is blood sugar and weight control. Belly fat is not just cosmetic. It robs men of testosterone, increases estrogen, and weakens circulation. Breaking the cycle of sugar cravings and trimming excess fat restores hormone balance and self-confidence. Finally, the seventh pillar is testosterone sensitivity. Many men are told their hormone levels are normal, but they still feel no energy. The reason is that their receptors are dulled. Restoring sensitivity allows the body to actually use the testosterone it already has, unlocking natural vitality. Together, these 7 pillars create a network. Each one strengthens the others, and the effect is greater than the sum of its parts. I recall the story of Martin, a 64-year-old former police officer. When he first came to see me, he was tired, withdrawn, and distant from his wife. His tests looked fine, yet he felt broken. Instead of prescribing a quick fix, we built a plan using these 7 foundations: bicarbonate for pH, daily walks for circulation, breathing for oxygen, diet for sugar control, and consistent support for his liver and kidneys. Within 6 months, Martin was not only enjoying intimacy again, but also laughing, exercising, and living with confidence. His wife later told me, "You did not just give me back my husband in bed, you gave me back my partner in life." This is what long-term recovery looks like. It is not a miracle pill, and it is not a one-week trick. It is a lifestyle shift that aligns the body's natural systems. When you respect these 7 pillars, your health is no longer fragile, but resilient. Every man over 60 deserves that resilience. We have now walked through the 7 foundations that support lasting male vitality: balancing pH, improving oxygen delivery, lowering inflammation, protecting nitric oxide, supporting the liver and kidneys, controlling sugar and weight, and restoring testosterone sensitivity. Each of these areas may seem small on its own, but together they form a powerful system. They are not theories. They are strategies I have witnessed in real patients' men who believed their best years were behind them, but found new strength when their bodies were given the right support. If you are over 60 and feel tired, less confident, or frustrated with your intimacy, remember this truth: your body is not broken. It is simply asking for balance. By making consistent choices, you can sharpen the edge of your vitality, just like a tool regains its power when it is sharpened. Age does not have to mean weakness. It can mean wisdom, resilience, and renewed passion if you choose to care for your health with intention. Now I want to hear from you. Which of the 7 benefits surprised you the most? Was it the role of oxygen, the hidden damage of inflammation, or perhaps the importance of hormone sensitivity? Write the number in the comments right now. Your response not only guides me in creating future content, but also inspires other men to start their own journey. If you found this video valuable, press like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you never miss new insights on prostate health, erections, and longevity. Disclaimer: this video is for informational purposes only and does not replace professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your physician or a qualified health provider with any questions regarding your medical condition.